Well, thank you for the question. I'm not so sure about, I agree completely with what you have said. It depends on the countries. Actually, Latin America this century has grown a little more than 2%, but you had the three bigger economies have grown very little. The other countries have not done so bad, not so good, but not so bad. Mexico grew 1.7%, Brazil a little more than 2%, Argentina a little more than 2%, Peru more than 4%, Colombia, Chile close to 4% actually. So it has not been so different. I'm not so sure about uncertainty. An American producer, he doesn't know what tariff he is going to face for inputs. And somebody that is selling imported consumer goods doesn't know what is going to be the tariff at the end. This has changed more the taxes than other countries. In our case, we have maintained the same rules for taxes to enterprises in 1992. A small change in 2016, but basically the same. Our economy is pretty open. Our tariff at 0.8. The problem, we trusted in rule of law and the treaties we have signed. We have a treaty with the states. You were talking about Mercosur. We have a free trade agreement with the states that was approved by Congress and supposedly should have been changed only by American Congress. But we have seen we have neutralities. So I don't see if our uncertainty is much higher than other countries. You know, we have had 9 presidents. The exchange rate almost has not moved. It moved 1% one day, then it corrects the next day. The yield of the bonds has been pretty stable. So in spite of the political volatility, actually our growth has not been so bad. So I'm not so sure if that is shared by everybody. Reforms, there are a lot. Of course, one institution, it was mentioned here, macro stability has been here. We have independent central banks. And we have seen very strong critiques to some of these more important central banks. And the governors have continued their independent monetary policy, in spite of the critiques coming from the president. And in spite of some countries having now a little more inflation than before, I would say compared to the 70s, 80s, and even early 90s, the situation is much better. And one of the factors that probably has been behind the low growth of Latin America compared to Asia has been macro instability, 70s, 80s, with these big fiscal deficits, inflation, etc. No? So the situation is not good, but it's not so bad. Well, we have to build our institutions.
Right.
The presence of the state around the country, better civil service, better education. Some of the countries that had the best education, some of the world actually, now they were in these exams, they have very low grades. And I believe if you have a good educated population, you will be prosperous at the end.
Right.
But you have to invest in that, no? I have talked too much, maybe.